Episode 140: How to Spot Processed Food. This is your host, Ian Cigarroa. In this episode, we will discuss the importance of knowing what exactly are you putting into your system. Labels can be misleading, and solely because it is FDA approved, well, it doesn't mean it is healthy, good, or anything it claims to be. Food should be clean and have a basic list of ingredients. But frankly, when you start reading the list of ingredients, you might discover there is nothing wholesome, but rather fillers which don't benefit to you. Without further ado, I present today's topic: how to spot processed food.
At CBF, we know that for you to change your body, you need to change your mind. Exercise and eating healthy is only part of the plan. We care about our members as we care about our family, because our members become our family. It is not about competition, but support. It is not about being the strongest or the fastest, but about you defeating your negative self. It is about working together and making the task challenging and have fun. By the end, what matters is not how hard the session was, but that you take control of your mind so you can take control of your body. My name is Sandro Torres, and I'm happy you are part of our family. Welcome to Custom Body Fitness.
Welcome everybody to another talk here with your health coach, Sandro Torres. Last weekend, I went to the store to buy a couple things, such as Christmas light, toothpaste, and things like that. And I ran into one of our members. She was doing her shopping as well. And I noticed that she had a bottle of protein powder. And also she had almond milk on her basket, in her basket. I started wondering in my head if she knew how to spot processed foods, how to read the ingredients. I take my time to teach all of our members to read the ingredients because it's super important for their health and weight loss. So all the time that we were talking, I was wondering that, do you remember how I had you to process, to spot processed food and to read the ingredients? But anyway, as we continue talking, I reach into her basket and pull the protein powder. And I say, are you gonna drink this? And she say, yes. There is something wrong with it? I bet there is something wrong with it, but let's find out together. So I turned it around and we went over the ingredients. And I said, do you read all this? She said, yeah. And I said, all these are chemicals. And one of the main ingredients is sugar. If your plan is to lose weight, right, to stay healthy, this is not going to help. And then I reached for the almond milk and I said, do you drink this? And she said, yes. And you think this is healthy because it says almond milk. She said, yes. So then I said, let's read it together and let's find out. So I turned the bottle and then we start reading. You see, doesn't say only almond milk. It says almond milk plus all this stuff. Artificial flavor, vitamins that actually chemicals hidden as a vitamins, and there were other things in there. And I said, see, all this is not good for your health, doesn't help you with your weight loss. And I thought about how I take my time to teach our members to read the ingredients and they don't apply that. And I said, well, if our members, they supposed to know to read the ingredients to spot the processed food, what about a lot of people in our audience? Do they know how to spot processed food? And I decided to create this talk and teach you how to spot processed food and read the ingredients. Now, I'm not going to be talking about how harmful and how all these ingredients, these chemicals, do contribute to weight gain, because I have created other speeches and articles about that topic. Plus, there is a lot of knowledge of people talking about that as well. So I'm not going to talk about that, but I'm just going to teach you the basics about spotting those processed food and knowing how to read the ingredients. So let's begin with the first one. The first one, the many people make a mistake, is don't read the label, read the ingredients. The label doesn't say anything. If it's a whole food, if it's something that you can eat organic and so on, it's whole food. The label is gonna say how much protein it has, how much carbohydrates it has, how much cholesterol, how much fat, how much whatever. But because it's a whole food and it's natural and it's organic, doesn't matter. The nutrient is gonna be good for you. However, if it's processed food, all that protein, all that sugar, all that carbohydrates, all that cholesterol, whatever, that's gonna be bad for you because it's processed food. So that label doesn't really say anything. So don't confuse the label with ingredients. So don't go and turn the product around and look for the label. No, the ingredients. Let's make that clear. Read the ingredients, not the label. Number two, make sure that you're gonna eat what that product claims to be. For example, if it's potato chips, it should be only potato chips, not flour and the rest. With that in mind, keep in mind when you read the ingredients, the first ingredients that you're gonna read is gonna be the main ingredient, the biggest amount in that package. For example, if it's a potato chip, it should say potato, no flour in the beginning or whatever. So make sure it is what it claims to be, and the first ingredient is what you really gonna eat that instead of the ingredient. The first ingredient is gonna be the main ingredient, of course, and then as you go along, continue reading, it's gonna have the next ingredient, whatever is the next amount and the next amount, and like that until whatever ingredient this product has the least of that ingredient. The next point, which is another very important one, is make sure it has whole foods. And that's it. No chemicals, nothing else. Let's go back to the potato chips. If you eating potato chips, make sure it's potatoes, olive oil, and sea salt, for example. Nothing else. No glucose, no dextrine, no artificial flavor, no flours, no whatever. Only those three ingredients, because that's what you're gonna eat, not the rest of the chemicals. Another example that I'm gonna give you are my mom's beans. For example, as a Mexican, I like to eat beans. My mom used to cook the beans in a pressure pot, just to put beans, water, onion, garlic, salt, and then let them cook. Then when they were cooked, she will put canola oil in a pan and then put some onion in there and let it fry. Once that onion was fried, then she put the beans, only the beans, on the pan and started smashing the beans. That's refried beans. That's how we call those. Now, if I think about that, the ingredients are beans, water, oil, onion, garlic, and salt. That's it. So if you're gonna, for example, I thought when I used to go to the market, I used to buy the canned beans. The ingredients are what my mom used to use to make her beans. But then I read and I noticed it has a lot of chemicals and so on. So if you prepare something in home, remember, however your mom, your grandma used to prepare whatever fruit you're gonna eat, those are the main ingredients. If you start noticing things that your mom or your grandmother didn't use to make whatever, so then that's not good. Now the fourth thing is make sure it's organic, even better. the ingredients are organic and the real ingredients. And then the last thing that you should be aware when reading the ingredients is don't believe what the product says in front. That diet, natural, fresh, approved for by the FDA, whatever it says in front, all natural. Whatever it says in front, that's not true. What you want to do is go back and once again read the ingredients. Don't believe that whatever the product says in front. Read the ingredients. So that's it. That's the last thing. Now, if you don't care about your health, so then get out there and buy whatever you want to buy without reading the ingredients. Don't read the ingredients. Pay attention to the label. Pay attention to whatever it says in front. And even better, just go by the color. And if it looks cool, then buy it. But if you really care about your health and about your weight loss, whenever you buy something, read the ingredients and apply what I just told you here. Hopefully this is helpful for you. Hopefully you know how to spot processed food by now and know how to read the ingredients. Thank you so much for continue following me. I hope this talk really helps you how to spot processed food and how to read the ingredients. Please share this with somebody who needs to know this information so she or he can lose weight and stay healthy. For now, your health coach says bye.
How did you like today's topic? I hope you found it to your interest and raised some questions or thoughts. Spotting processed food only takes a few seconds. The benefits of it are of great significance and you will notice it. Thank you. And please share this or any of our episodes. Don't forget to follow us. Comments are greatly appreciated. Until next time.